However, if you are tired of sitting and you want to do any and all of this standing, that's available to you. So please know that I'm going to show you on the chair, but you can always stand up if you prefer. But for this first part, the other thing too is you could actually sit on the floor for this first part, for this little meditation. So you can make a choice here with how you want to work with that. So the first thing we're going to do is sit comfortably, either on the floor, on blocks or blankets, or in your chair. And feel your feet on the ground or in your sits bones and back. If you're in a chair, feel your back supported, your sits bones. The best way that you can feel connected, bring as much awareness as you can to your position. So today we'll start with an awareness and perception exercise. This is going to relax us physiologically and mentally. And it also works energetically with the chakras, which I won't get into today, but we've got these energy centers that really help to energize our organs and other systems of our body. And so this will also affect ourselves energetically. So we'll start with bringing the hands to the very lower pelvis area. So you might even feel your palms resting near the frontal hip bones and your fingertips moving diagonally down toward the pubic bone. And if you need to shift around and get more comfortable, please do so. And you can have a soft gaze with your eyes looking downward, or you can close your eyes, whatever feels the most comfortable and supportive for you. And just feel your hands there in this place in the body. And start to breathe in through your nose and imagine that you're able to draw the oxygen right into this space under your hands. And you can exhale through the mouth if you'd like to, through pursed lips, or you can exhale through your nose. It's your choice. We're going to do each section of this exercise about five rounds of breath. Let your shoulders relax, even as you have your hands resting on the lower belly. Good. Now you're going to move your hands up just a little bit. So imagine that your middle fingers could rest near your belly button, and then your thumbs are pointed up toward your diaphragm. So you're just right in the center of the belly. And again, feel the weight of your hands just on this soft place. And as you breathe, let it expand and fill. And with every exhale, releasing any tension that you might be holding here. Breathing in some healing, restorative energy. And now you can move your hands just a little higher so that your thumbs are at the crest of your lower rib cage and the fingertips are pointed up just a little bit, just kind of cradling the diaphragm. And as you breathe in, really focusing on filling up that area of the diaphragm. Gently releasing, exhaling, letting go. This time we'll bring our hands to the chest. So I invite you to bring those fingertips up toward the collarbones, so you can kind of touch the collarbones with your middle fingers, and then your other fingers will also start to touch each other right across the expanse of your chest. And let your shoulders relax and soften, and the elbows rest close to the body. And feel the connection of your hands on your chest, your lung area, your heart. Feel the warmth and weight of your own hands as you breathe in and out. Next, we'll move the hands up to the throat area. So the fingertips will wrap gently around the back of the neck, just toward the back of the neck, and then the base of the palms will come together at the front of the throat area, just letting the arms rest as you can on your chest. And imagine you're just cradling the neck, the throat area, the center of self-expression, the home for your thyroid. And breathing in, bringing some restorative energy to this place. And you can exhale as you've been, or if it feels appropriate to let out a sound or a sigh, you can do that. Your mind starts to wander, bring it back to noticing all the sensations that you can. Good. Now we'll take both hands. You're going to rest your fingertips on your lips. So you'll press them gently onto the lips. The middle fingers might move up toward the nose a little bit. And with a gentle weight on your lips, go ahead and bring all of your attention to the sensation of fingertips on the lips. This is very soothing to the nervous system. Breathing in and out through the nose now. Good, moving toward our last two areas. Take your fingertips, gently place them over the orbs of your eyes without pressing on the eyelids so that your eyeballs don't have any pressure. You're blocking out the light. Your fingertips will be touching the brow bones. Imagine as you breathe in through your nose that you're drawing air right into the eyes, restoring the eyes from fatigue. Exhaling, releasing any tension in the eye sockets, in the muscles that surround the eyes. clearing the space and the energy so that we might see things in a new light. And finally, letting the hands rest on top of the head. The fingertips will come together right at the center of the crown of the head, as if you had a seam right there where you could open the crown of the head. Just gentle pressure there, and take some deep breaths. Let your hands now just slide down, back down to your lap. And then slowly take a forward fold, just bending over as comfortable for you. If you're able to release your head and relax here. Take some breath, release your lower back and your shoulders, your jaw. Breathe into the back of your body and let it out. And then pull your belly in and slide your hands back up and press into your thighs to help you sit back up. And you can close your eyes if that works for you, and just take notice of how you feel now. What are you noticing that might be different? What are you aware of? And you can stay right in this state of receptivity as I bring to you a little reading for our theme today. So I did this theme several years ago. I love the 23rd Psalm, "The Lord is my shepherd," and this book is by Harold Kushner, called "The Lord is my shepherd," and he explores all of the different lines of the prayer piece by piece and really dives in and explores them in a way that's so beautiful and meaningful. And the reason I'm bringing this today is because I was walking around Heather Farms the other day around that lake, and I found myself just stopping and gazing at the still water and hearing the geese, and I just went spontaneously into this prayer, and it was just so restorative to connect into such an ancient psalm and to breathe life and meaning into it. So I wanted to share with you just the psalm itself and then a little tiny piece of what he wrote about it. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So today we'll explore the first half of this psalm. And he says in his introduction, I was picking and choosing the pieces that I thought were great to share today. He says, why do we love this psalm so much, more than any of the other 149 psalms in the Bible? Why do we reach for it at moments of personal distress, cherishing its recitation at funerals and memorial services? It is a beautiful literary creation, but the anthologies are full of beautiful writings, and they don't capture our hearts as the 23rd Psalm does. In just a few lines, it conveys the distilled wisdom of generations, offering us a way of seeing the world that renders it less frightening, teaching us to deal with the loss of people we love and with the conflict with people who don't like us or who treat us badly. It shows us how to recognize the presence of God at times and in places where we might think God was absent, or when we might be so distracted by our own concerns that we would overlook God's presence. It has the power to teach us to think differently, and as a result, to act differently. In a mere 57 words of Hebrew and just about twice that number in English translation, the author of the 23rd Psalm gives us an entire theology, a more practical theology than we can find in many books. He teaches us to look at the world and see it as God would have us see it. If we are anxious, the Psalm gives us courage and we overcome our fears. If we are grieving, it offers comfort and we find our way through the valley of the shadow. If our lives are embittered by unpleasant people, it teaches us how to deal with them. If the world threatens to wear us down, the Psalm guides us to replenish our souls. If we are obsessed with what we lack, it teaches us gratitude for what we have. And most of all, if we feel alone and adrift in a friendless world, it offers the priceless reassurance that thou art with me. So today in our practice, as I said, we'll explore the first half of the psalm, and we're going to work on restoring ourselves to really begin continuing that process of reawakening and reemerging into this world as we know it now. And we'll stay in our chair, but we're going to bring in some movement now. So make sure you have your strap handy too, right by your side. So you can scoot to the edge of your chair if you want. If you are tired of sitting and you want to stand and do forward folds, you can. We're going to inhale and reach the arms up, and then exhale, come into a forward fold. Whether you're standing or sitting, you're going to want to really engage your belly as you come back up. And you're going to want to look up first, reach the arms out to the sides and up. Good, and hands to the heart. I'll do one standing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Know that you can always use blocks under your hands if you need to. Take a breath here. As you exhale, pull the belly in and come on up. Reaching up and hands to the heart. So I'm going to sit back down and use the strap. So we're going to want to open up our back of our legs for a standing pose today. I actually looped my strap. We're going to need to have it looped later on today. You can loop it now if you want, or you can just use it like, holding both sides of the strap. Either way, it's fine for now, because we're just going to lift the right leg up and flex the right foot. Draw the shoulders back and down. And as you squeeze your quadricep and flex your foot, you're going to try to point your toes towards your face and get a nice stretch in the back of the leg. So calf and hamstring. Now the trick to this, you're going to feel more if you want to by hinging, not rounding forward, but holding the strap and just hinging at your hip crease as we do in our forward folds, coming just till you feel a stretch in the back of the leg. It won't take much. Breathe into this here. Just as we did in our beginning meditation, see if you can direct the breath to the back of the leg as if the back of your leg had its own nostrils and its own set of lungs. Just draw the air right into that place. Good. And then hold the straps in your right hand and start to bring your leg out to the side as much as you're comfortable doing until you feel an inner thigh stretch. You want to keep your foot flexed. And breathe here. So from here, we'll go into a figure 4 stretch. So you can keep the strap around your foot if you'd like and use it as a support. to bend your right knee and wedge that ankle up across your left thigh. And you can use it as a little support here. Pressing the right knee down toward the floor, keeping the foot flexed, and again, hinging at your hip crease to get into that outer hip. Now you can do this if you want to switch to lie on your back. You're more than welcome to do these exercises on the floor on your back. Keep the belly engaged if you're in the chair. We'll take 3 more breaths here. So the practice today is a little slower. We're doing some self-massage. We're doing a couple of restorative poses as best as we can with the props that we have. Good, you're gonna come up from that and you can remove the strap from your foot and then just do some ankle rotations. So just get nice big circles going in that right ankle. Go both directions. You can even use your hand to help if you want. You could do a little toe stretching, toe massage, whatever you need to restore your feet. Good, and then go ahead and place your foot back down and we'll change to the other side. So that strap is going to go around the left foot and flex the foot, toes point toward your face. Those shoulder blades come together, chest is open, and squeeze the quad. As you squeeze that front leg muscle, it allows the back of the leg to release. You can't have them both contracted at the same time. So one has to let go. So squeeze the quad, breathe into the back of the leg. You can hinge forward if your body's asking for that to get a little more into the hamstring. You might feel that moving into up into the glute area or down into the calf as you hinge. Be mindful that your core is slightly engaged during this time. And then sitting upright, you can bring your leg out to the side till you get a little inner thigh stretch. It's also warming up your glutes, so you might feel your glutes are working a little bit on the side. And breathe. Good, bring your leg back to center and then bend the knee and start to bring that foot on top of your right thigh, using the strap if you need it or like it, prefer it. And as you're ready, flexing the left foot, maybe gently pressing down or bringing your forearm to your left knee just as a gentle support downward, no force, and then possibly hinging forward again. Every exhale is an invitation for your body to relax, to release a little bit more. So it's like imagine that you're lying in that green pasture, you're lying on the grass, the earth is holding you. Every time you breathe out, you can let go a little bit more of your weight, of your holding. Okay, come on up and then do some ankle rotations. You can do the toe stretches if you want with your hand. Okay. You can bring your left foot to the floor, release your strap off to the side. And we're going to do some hip rotations. So you can, and some cat-cows. You can do this standing and a modified standing cat-cow if that works for you. You can do this on the edge of your chair, scooping the tailbone underneath and rounding the back, gazing toward the belly button. Inhaling as you open the heart, sits bones reach back behind you. Few of these. Exhaling, emptying out as you round. Inhaling as you breathe, take in life. Good, let's do one more set. And then hands on your hips. On the chair, it's going to look, it's going to be smaller. So I want you to imagine you have a hula hoop around your waist, and your hips are just shifting, doing circles. Like you could draw circles on the chair with your sits bones. Try to isolate that movement. If you're standing, you can also do similar movements standing. Make them a little smaller to start, so you can notice all the details of where you feel tight in your hips. You want to go both directions, nice and slow. Good. So from here, you can either stay standing and do this, or you can do this in a chair. So first I'll show you from the chair. I'm going to sit on the edge of the chair with my legs nice and wide. My feet are flat on the floor. If you're standing, you can actually, change your mind from sitting and go right to standing, because this is the difference. And we're going to keep the hands on the knees or inner thighs and do a little upper body twist. So it's kind of like in PE. Do you remember doing this, where you press your right hand into your thigh and just drop your right shoulder down and gaze over your left shoulder? So a little thoracic twist here. Make sure you keep your belly engaged. If you're doing this standing, it's a great twist as well, but you're also working your quadriceps and your balance. And then we're switching over to the other side. Let the left shoulder drop in, gaze over your right shoulder. Big breath. Come back to center. If you need a break to sit on the chair, you can, because we're going to come into a side bend. So your right hand's going to stay on your knee. Your left arm's going to reach up and over, reach diagonally. As you reach with your fingertips, connect your left sits bones to your chair, and or feel your left foot on the floor, really connecting to the earth. And then other side. Reach, 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 and ground at the same time. Good. One more breath. And release. Good. We are going to come to standing now. So you can remove your chair. Don't put it off too far, because we're going to use it in a little bit for standing poses. We're going to do some foot massage and some chest massage. So let's start with the chest. Just take a minute on each side to use the ball or your fingertips to work. Pick one side and just get into any tight areas. I like to start, I definitely like to work along the center breastbone, the sternum area, where all those pectoral muscles attach, and then work your way all the way out to the fold of your upper arm, right where those pectorals reach and attach in there as well. Good, and then just switch over to the other side. You can move your arm at the same time, which helps to create some length. Good. Okay, place your ball off of your mat and take your straps. We'll just do a little chest opener here. So you're gonna hold your straps behind your back with your palms facing away. And reach down for the ground and open up the heart And then bend your knees and start to bend over and bring the strap with you over your head or reaching for the sky. It doesn't have to go over your head, right? Everybody's got different things going on with their shoulders. So just reaching up and noticing, trying to keep your shoulders from sagging down into your ears. You want to really be active in this pose. It's not a super relaxing pose. There's a lot of work going on here. And breathe. And now press into your feet and pull your navel in and start to rise up on the flat back. Good. And then do some shoulder circles and release your strap. A little bit of foot massage here, so you can bring the ball into your right foot and do what feels good today. What area or areas of your foot are asking for attention? And as you're massaging your feet, just thinking about all the ways that you're sufficient in life. All the areas in your life where you don't want, that you don't need, that you're fulfilled. Your basic needs. To start, maybe the way your body works for you. Go ahead and switch sides. The ways in which you've been guided or shepherded in your life to where you are right now. What brought you to this moment? Safely, with all that you need. Maybe there are some angels in your life that have brought you to where you are now. Take another couple of breaths as you work out any areas in your foot. Good. And now you can place that ball off to the side and do some standing twists. Just let your arms be really loose and let your heel come up as you twist. And we'll make the sound of wind as we shush away anything that is getting in the way of this restorative practice. Clearing your own beautiful space to rest and receive. One more big breath. Good, and let your twisting come to stillness and just take a moment to stand here in mountain pose, either with eyes open or closed, and just check in with yourself, see how you're feeling. So we'll take the next few poses, standing poses, with the chair as a support. And you can use it or dump it, whatever works for you. So you get to choose. It's your practice, what's going to support you. So we're going to play with opening up the legs and moving into a balancing pose, into Warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. To start, we want to open up the legs. So let's have that left foot be forward and then come onto the toes of the back foot and then bend the knees. So we're in a lunge here, a crescent lunge on the bottom of the lower half of the body. And you can feel free to open your stance from left to right to make it feel a little more stable. And I've got the chair here. You can use your hands on your hips if you'd rather challenge your balance and not have the chair. Either way is perfect. So I'm going to bend the knees. I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath you and squeeze your right gluteal muscle. So tuck, squeeze, and get into that psoas. And now lift your right arm and lean over to your left just a little bit to get even more into the obliques and psoas here. Big breath in. Keep your glutes active. And then bring the hand down, maybe back to your hips or your chair. And now we're going to straighten both legs. So you can keep your back foot where it is, but you'll straighten both legs. And then you'll hinge forward. So we're coming into a supported pyramid pose. Now I have the back of the chair here, so it's a little bit in my way, but it's actually okay. I can just tilt my chair if I need to. Some of you, this might be perfect. So we're coming into pyramid pose. I want you to notice your hip bones, the frontal hip bones, and make sure that they're pointing straight down toward the legs of the chair or toward the head of your mat. We're working on really fine-tuning the alignment and the integrity in this alignment so that we can walk a straight path. From here, go ahead and bend both knees and come back into your lunge. Tuck your tailbone, flex your right buttocks muscle, and then slowly into pyramid. Straighten both legs. When you straighten both legs, make sure you're squeezing the quadricep on the left, on the front leg. And one more time. Crescent lunge. And then straighten the legs. So you've got a calf stretch big time as you straighten that back leg. Breathe. And release. You can step your back foot forward, shake it out, do whatever you need to do. So next we'll do a Vira 3 pose. Actually, you know what, let's warm up the other side first, and then I want to do it all at the same time. So let's step the right foot forward, left foot back, coming into your crescent lunge here. Noticing whether you want the chair or not. Bend both knees, tuck, squeeze, breathe. Lift the left arm up, grow nice and tall, reach with your arm, and then lean to the right just a little bit, but don't lose the tucking of the tailbone. Breath here. Good, back up. Bring the hand back to the hips or the chair. Now we'll work on straightening both legs, squeezing the front thigh muscle, and hinging forward. Nice hamstring stretch here. As you do that, you might need to adjust your front right hip and bring it back just a smidge. Come up, come back into crescent lunge. Both knees are bent. Breathe. As you exhale, straighten the legs, hinge forward. We'll do one more. Come on up into your lunge. You might let go of the chair or just softly hold the chair to test your balance. And then straighten the legs, hinge forward, pyramid. Good. Okay, we're going to step the back foot forward, and we're going to work on preparing for Vira 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So you'll want to step back from your chair a bit, or move it if you're not using your chair. Hands are going to come to your hips or out in front of you to reach for the chair. So we'll stand with the left foot, toes are face forward, and lift the right leg back behind you. Start to hinge at your hip crease, hinge at the left hip crease. And remember the hips, you want to keep them facing down. So your right hip's going to want to flare open, keep it pointed down. So we want to really train the integrity of our alignment so we can walk straight paths. Breathe, lift the back leg. This is a lot of work. You can also practice lifting your arms out in front of you or behind you like jet wings. I like to do that. And come on up. We're going to switch to the other side. Keep breathing. Squeezing the standing leg. Hip bones point straight down to the mat. Back foot is flexed. Breathe. Belly's pulled in. And then slowly come up. Good. You can move your chair off to the side. Face your mat lengthwise. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, let it go. Just fold over. You might grab opposite elbows and release everything. Sway from side to side if that works for you. And then pull the navel in, slide your hands up your legs and come to standing. So we're going to just imagine that we are walking this straight path, like the prayer. We're led down these straight paths in the name of God. So this path of mitzvot, this path of doing the right thing, of tikkun olam, and it takes training and it takes commitment. So we just did a lot of training in order to maintain our upright posture, hopefully, right? We're allowed to fail. So what we're going to do is go to the very back of your mat. You could even start off your mat if you have room in your space. And we're going to step the right foot forward, right to the center of the mat. As you step forward, start to lift the back leg and come into whatever version of Virabhadrasana 3 works for you. Maybe it's a tiny lift of the back leg with the hips pointing down. Maybe it's a full Vira 3 with the arms reaching out or behind you. Now here's the fun part. You're going to start to come back up and then bring your left knee up in front of you. So now you're in like a flamingo pose. And then you'll step the left foot down in front of you like you're on a tightrope and come right into your Virabhadrasana 3 on the other side. It's very important you pull your belly in, hips point down. Come to whatever layer or version of this you want. And then when you're ready, you're going to exhale, bring the right knee up. We probably have room for 2 more. Step the right foot down, come right into Warrior 3. And then come on up, bring the knee up. Last time, step the left foot down. Warrior 3 on with the right leg back behind us. And then bring the knee up and stand. So you've walked the full path of your mat, the sacred space that you created for yourself. Go ahead and inhale. You can turn lengthwise on your mat or the other way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, let it all go. All right, let's come on down. We don't need the chair anymore. We are going to want our blankets at this point. 2, we're going to want, let's see what I want you to do today. We're going to take 2 of our blocks and lay them in front of you, long-wise, and close, kind of close to your body. And then take one of your blankets, fold it in a way where it's going to support the body. So it doesn't have to be super skinny. You actually want it to cover the majority of the upper body. So I've got one. I'm going to lay it down on top of these blocks. And then I'll take a second one. Now, if you have stable pillows, you know, like good sturdy ones that aren't all lumpy and stuff, you could also add pillows. So this is all about your comfort and setting you up to be in a pose for a little longer than you normally would in order to gain the benefits from it. So if you've got your blankets stacked or pillows, I'm going to give you another option too if this is not working for your ankles. So you're going to pull that in towards you, or scoot up to it close. So it's in between your thighs, and you can feel the pressure of those blankets or whatever you have here pressing into the abdominal area. And then you'll come forward and turn your head. Let's turn your head to face me to start. So if you have a longer waist, then you're going to want to adjust and have the support out away from you a bit, because you don't want your head to hang off. You want your head to be supported. As you come down with the support under you, it should take pressure off your ankles. If this is not comfortable, doesn't work for you, try it for a minute, see if you can get it to work. If it doesn't work for you, I'm going to offer that you lie on your side in a fetal position with a block or blanket under your head and a block or blanket between your knees so that your spine is supported. So something that you can stay in for a minute or two of deep breathing. So we're in a restorative child's pose. So if you are in the shape that I am, the pressure on the abdominal walls helps to support digestion, soothes the nervous system. If it works for your neck, you can turn your head to the other side and settle in there. Whatever shape that you are in, I hope that it feels comforting and restorative. If it doesn't, adjust yourself so that you can rest deeply in this pose. We're going to bring the hands close to the body so that we can press up nice and slow. Move your blankets off to the side, not too far. You're going to want to have access to them. And then just swing your legs around in front of you for a second. We'll do a staff pose just to open the chest. So legs are straight, feet are flexed. Bring your fingertips behind you and press into your mat and press the mat and ground away from you as you reach your chest up, gaze up to the ceiling or the sky without dropping the head back. Take a big breath into the heart. Good, and release. So this last pose is completely optional. It is a little more set up than I usually use, but in the theme of restoring and being supported, I want to offer it to you as an option. So if you want to just lay down and not do any of it, please feel free. So we're going to, we have a few options. So what I would like, if you can, is to use your strap and loop it. So if you have a loop on your strap, if you don't, if you're not using a strap, it's fine. You'll be fine. Just you won't do this part. So if you have a strap and you can loop it, you'll put it around your thighs. And you can just tighten it by pulling on it. It'll tighten and then it won't give. And you can loosen it by just gently lifting up on the rings, and then it gives you all kinds of room. Okay, so don't worry if this is not working for you today. You're like, what are you talking about? We'll do a little loop like tutorial, like the next time we sign on early, I'll give you a loop tutorial. What the fun part is that we're gonna take our blocks again. Let's see how I wanna do this. I think we'll start with, the first block will be medium height. And then the other block that your back is gonna lay on is on the short height. And then you will place your blanket, whatever your biggest blanket is, thickest blanket, you'll place that, I'll go with this one, across these blocks. So it creates a little bit of a, looks like a slide. And then it's not poking you because you've got this nice thick blanket here. And now the reason it does, it's okay if the strap doesn't work for you today. You can leave this behind if you want, or you can join me. So you're gonna place yourself on your blocks. When you lie back, you wanna feel like the mid back, or where there would be like a bathing suit or bra line or something, that is at the bottom of that block you can feel. And then you can adjust your top block to support your head. So this is a heart opener. And if you let your legs be flat, it's like a supported fish, really a nice supported fish. Heart opening Shavasana. If you want a little extra inner thigh stretch, this is very relaxing. It can be for some. Then you would bring your feet together and start to let your knees open. Now, some of you might be able to do that, and it just feels great to do that. The strap, if you can tighten the strap in a way where it feels like somebody's holding your knees while you let them relax, it feels really good. It feels a little less intense on the inner groin. And I see there's a comment, but I'm not going to be able to get up to answer that comment. So I'm very sorry. I'll have to get to that at the end. Just do your best. And then if you want to take a blanket and lay it across your hips, that is quite delicious. It can be, it doesn't have to be, it is for some. So you can do any range of variations you want with that lower body. Find a shape that feels supportive for you today. You could let all of this go and do none of it, or you could do some of it or all of it. So we'll take the next couple of minutes to really settle in to a place where we feel like we can let go and receive and be restored. When you are in a restorative posture with props, sometimes once you're in it for a few minutes, it can feel like you've had enough and you would like to change positions. And that's okay. You can feel free to shift as needed. You're not stuck in one position. You want to build trust with your body so that it knows that you are on its side, that you want it to be comfortable. Hehvaynu shalom eleichem. 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 Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Hehvaynu shalom eleichem. Hehvaynu shalom eleichem. Hehvaynu shalom eleichem. Hehvaynu shalom eleichem. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Begin to take some deeper breaths. And slowly moving your body any way that works for you. Drawing in deep breaths, letting every breath restore your soul. And take all the time you need to rise up to a sitting position, or today if you want to stay lying down for after class, you can remain in your supported shavasana. And from wherever you are, whatever your choice is this session, I invite you to join me in heart and consciousness and send out this prayer. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free. May all beings have peace. May all beings be loved. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.